Srila Prabhupada began lovingly distributing Krishna's prasadam by cutting an apple at 26 Second Avenue. 5 decades later, by Srila Prabhupada's grace, Krishna's devotees continue distributing Krishna's prasadam for the homeless in Tompkins Square Park in Lower East Side, Manhattan. In this park, Srila Prabhupada introduced public chanting of Krishna's holy name in the Western world. Krishna's interfaith retreat guest rooms cover most operating expenses for Krishna's prasadam distribution. Srila Prabhupada's basic request: cook with love, offer to Krishna, distribute freely to everyone.
A Korean gentleman asked if he could bring his daughter out to help with the meal distribution. So I said, yeah, definitely you should bring her. How old is she? He said 5 years old. I said, okay, but don't just bring her. Explain to her what we're doing, why we're doing it, and then invite her and see if she chooses to come. Let her choose. So she came out here, a little tiny girl, probably about 2 feet tall, 5 years old. So she came out once and she was helping serving, and then she came out again, and I was feeling a little mischievous. So I asked her, her name is Madison. I said, Madison, why do you come out here? She became kind of indignant. She said to me, we're trying to show people that God loves them. It's like very determined, very clear her impression that, this is a good thing. And she was explaining it to me, but it hit me like a rock, because even the children can understand, that this is something about love, this is about caring for others,
And the children shall lead them.
And a small child shall.
You said just take the top here?
No, there's 2 layers.
Okay.
So you have to go deep.
Okay.
Don't just top.
Okay.
The
All right.
top's only vegetables, so you have to get some vegetables.
Okay. All right.
Please leave your message for
Something close to you. Like, so hard.
All the way around the edge, that's easy to serve you.
Some of it.
All the cakes. Everything. Have a great day. Okay, but Sarah, can you leave the bag? In the bed and breakfast, she's been coming. She was an NYU student, so when she was a student, she used to come and stay with us. But every year she comes for a few days or a week. And now she's living in Vermont. She opened up a restaurant up there. So she came down here about a month ago with her boyfriend. And it was a new boyfriend. And they came and they helped with prasad distribution. Then they went back up to Brattleboro. And the boy called me up. And he said, you know, I was a heroin addict. And now I'm in recovery. And so I go to the 12-step meeting. When I was at the meeting, I told everybody, you know, I was out there at the park, Tompkins Square Park, and one of the other persons in the meeting said, you, Tompkins Square Park, you were out there with Adi, the prasadam, the Krishna food. Oh yeah, when I was strung out, I used to go there. It saved me. It helped me so much. And now I've been sober for 10 years, you know, and I used to come there. And you went out there, I can't believe it, you know. And this guy, the boyfriend, he called me several times, maybe three times, different times. He said he was so moved by that experience from years ago when he was living in the park, practically living, you know. There's another girl, she told me, I was living in that park. And everybody I knew was smoking something, shooting something, snorting something, popping something, drinking something, stoned all the time. I was living in a cloud. All of us we were just, you know, stoned all the time. That was our life, you know. Stealing stuff and selling drugs. And she said, no, I was at the table one day. I found my way over there. I couldn't even see who was on the other side of the table. But I heard this voice. And somebody said, this is for you. And I felt like somebody was reaching into the cloud, where I was in this cloud. And they knew I was in there. And they were outside. And they were calling me. And it was an epiphany. It was a marking point. It was a turning point in my life. And I stopped using drugs. I've been sober for almost 3 months now, which is a miracle. And I'm getting into spiritual life. And she said, that food, you know, just, they don't have the vocabulary. And then on the other side of the table, we have people that are coming and engaging in devotional service to serve the food. We had 3 little Chinese girls. They were staying at the guest program. They came out to do volunteer work. And when I saw them afterwards, back at the guest program, they said to me, now we're different. Now we're different. Something happened to us out there. I don't know how to describe it, you know, but now we're different. So when a person engages in God's service, something miraculous happens. It purifies the heart. And we're awakened to another level of reality that we almost forgot. You know, but somehow or other, it's a doorway. And just one story after another. a lady came here from California, staying in the guest program. Good morning. And she was here with her 9-year-old daughter. And she said, you know, sometimes when women talk to me, I don't understand what they're talking about. She said to me, I had a house plant. I was thinking, what? I had this plant. Okay. And it died. I said, okay. She said it didn't, nothing dramatic, it just died. And so I put it back to the earth and I saved the flower pot. It was a nice flower pot. And I was thinking, what is this girl talking about? And then she said, and my marriage died the same way. I was like, oh my God. She said, my husband and I, we couldn't pretend anymore. There was nothing there. It was like, you know, empty. Like, you know, like empty. And then he just went away. You know, like we just couldn't keep it going. And that was 9 years ago that he left. And I have this daughter from my husband. And so for 9 years, day and night, 24/7, I'm taking care of this little girl. Very close, I'm very attached to this girl. But now she's 9 years old, going on 16. You know how they grow up so fast. And I see she's got another way of looking at the world. She's becoming her own person. And I'm a little bit afraid, and I'm thinking maybe my relationship with my daughter will die. Just like my relationship with my husband just died, and the plant just died quietly and just left, you know? And so I thought, I've got to do something. I've got to rebuild this relationship. We'll go on a trip. So they were living in California, so they came to New York, and they made a reservation. She said, we'll sleep in the same room. We'll go out and around town all day. We'll do all kinds of things. We'll have dinner together. We'll go to different events and see different things. And maybe I can reconnect and make sure that this doesn't, you know, just fade away, you know. And so we were walking around for several days. And we did so many things, but nothing was happening. And then we came out here and we were feeding the homeless. And I looked at my daughter. And she looked at me, and we were on the same page. Something happened. Some bridge opened up. I couldn't understand it. I still don't understand it, but something very powerful happened between us when we were out there. I don't know what page we were on. I said to her, well, you were serving God, and that's your real relationship. It's a spiritual level. Sometimes maybe with your husband you had a physical relationship, you had an intellectual relationship, you had an emotional relationship. But what about spiritual? You know, so the Christian people say a man and woman shouldn't walk toward each other, they'll just bump heads. But they can walk hand in hand toward God forever. And so if you are helping each other in the direction that is actually your ultimate benefit, then your love will grow and grow. And maybe, you know, that's what you should do with your daughter. You know, take it up. Read the Bible. Go to church. Pray. Try to do service to God. You know, and there's a connection there. It's not superficial. And it's very, very good for a relationship to serve God together. So there are a lot of stories like that.